So, now we talk about the physical preparation. You have to physically prepare yourself as well. The more you're prepared, the more you've done your push-ups, your bicep curls, your sit-ups, the better you're going to be in your prayer. That is how you get yourself in the zone. You have to come to Salah dressed well. Not with curry. Seriously, not with curry stains. Don't come to Salah with curry stains. Or bisbas. Or the laham from the lahm ajeen that was trickling all over your shirt while you're having your breakfast. Seriously. خُذُوا زِينَتَكُمْ عِنْدَ كُلِّ masjid. Take your beauty to every single masjid, meaning every single salah. Because the word masjid means the place where you make sajda or the time where you make sajda. So this is salah. That's what's being meant over here. Every single time you pray salah, do what? Take your beauty along with you. Take your beautification along with you. Dress well. Remember we said this is a meeting. If you don't meet with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a beautiful garment, then you're not going to be able to connect to Allah. You haven't respected Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You're not going to be able to connect with Allah. You haven't respected Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So start making sure that you're dressed well, right? And this, by the way, happens most at Fajr time. Isn't that so? Because you got those nasty pajamas that you haven't washed for 2 weeks. Yeah? You're laughing because you know they're there. So you take those pajamas and you wear the same ones and you go ahead and do what? Go ahead and pray Fajr in that same nasty pajamas. Wallahi ya akhi. If you were married, you wouldn't be anymore. So make sure you wash your pajamas. Wallahi, this is the case, man. I'm telling you, this is what happens. Have you ever come to the masjid at Fajr time? By Allah, some people come with very bad smell. Yes. There are people shaking their heads because they know it's true. You have the pile up of odor all day from yesterday. And then when you sleep, you're also sweating all night. And then you are getting late so you don't end up brushing your teeth. And then on top of that, you wear the same pajamas that you were wearing and come straight to the masjid, right? With the Mickey Mouse shoes that you have. That's a rarity, that's a rare sight. But anyways, you end up doing all this, coming to the masjid. Why? Because of the fact that we don't understand that we should be coming to the masjid dressed well. And this is why the Messenger ﷺ, he said, أَصْلِحُوا لِبَاسَكُمْ. Go and fix up your clothes. Fix it up. وَأَصْلِحُوا what? And fix up your rides as well. Fix up your rides, clean up your cars. Yeah? Fix up your mounts, clean up your cars. All the youngsters are laughing. Don't worry, I got to fix my car up too. طيب. So fix up your cars. Or let's say fix up our cars, because really I have to fix up my own, to tell you the truth. Yeah? So fix up the cars. Why? Because the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he continued, he said, حَتَّى تَكُونُوا كَأَنَّكُمْ شَامَةٌ فِي النَّاسِ. Until you become like that beauty spot within humanity. So fix up the clothes, fix up the car, clean up. You know the feeling that you're going to get out of being nice and clean and fresh for salah? Wallahi, it's a feeling that is irresistible if you constantly do it. You know, this is, if you're not clean, you're not feeling like you've taken a nice shower and your hair are done well and you're wearing a nice, whatever you wear, right? Pants and shirts or whatever it is that you wear, if you're not wearing something nice, you're not going to be able to connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because you haven't given Allah that same, imagine if you're going into any other meeting, you'll be sitting, for the sisters, you'll be sitting 15 minutes before, or maybe 15 is not that much, right? Half an hour before the mirror. Half an hour, is that fair? Or should I give you more time? Because you're going to ask for more anyways. So the idea is that if you're going to spend that sort of time, you know, of course you don't put makeup on in salah and this and that, but I'm saying if you're going to spend that much time to meet other people, right? At least spend half of that, a little bit of time to make sure you're dressed properly when you're standing before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the commandment in the Quran. خُذُوا زِينَتَكُمْ عند كل مسجد. Take your clothes and take your beautification every time you go and pray salah. Beautify yourself every time you go and pray salah, because this will help you get into that spiritual zone that you're trying to get into. And also, brush the teeth. These are basic manners, really. It should go without saying, but this is something that needs to be said. You go to the masjid, many times you have people smelling bad. If you smoke, then don't come to the masjid. I'm sorry, please, don't come to the masjid if you smoke. That doesn't mean stop coming to the masjid because we're discouraging you from going to the mosque, but that means there's a right of the masjid, okay? This is a right of the masjid. And the right of the masjid is that you don't come there with bad scent. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ, this is why the Prophet ﷺ had said to some of the companions who would come to the masjid, then they would have had garlic and so on and so forth. He would say to them that من أكل من هذه الشجرة فلا يقربن مسجدنا هذا. Whoever ate from this tree, then let him not come to our masjid. Let him not come to our masjid. Let him not come to our masjid. So when you're going to the masjid, you have to ensure that your breath is smelling well. And the Prophet ﷺ was so keen on ensuring that the person's breath is smelling well when he's coming to the masjid, to a degree that he would actually command the companions to take the person out, literally drag the person out of the masjid and take him to another part of Medina. Literally. He would tell them to take them from Al-Masjid Al-Nabawi. How many of you went to Medina before? Lots, mashallah. Tayyib, fortunate. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. So you know the masjid, when you go from the masjid and you go to Al-Baqi', you know where Baqi' is? Yeah. So when you go to Baqi' from the masjid, when you get to Baqi', there is a good, I would say, a 15-minute walk, no, or less. Less now because the masjid has gotten much smaller and the graveyard has gotten much bigger, right? But you talk about masjid of Rasulullah, not 15 minutes, maybe a 3-4 minute walk, right? So between that and Baqi', you're talking about a bit of a walk. And of course there were houses and other things around that area as well at that time. A lot of them were abolished in the recent time and made into this gigantic area for the masjid. But anyways, so when you're going to Baqi', the Prophet ﷺ would tell the Sahaba to take the person who comes in to the masjid with the thawm. And you know the Lebanese people here, careful with that thawm. Huh? Everything has to go with the thawm. Toom, you guys call it, right? Hat at-toom. That doesn't mean you got to stop your thawm. You're smiling because you know you're guilty. We're all guilty. But anyways, that doesn't mean you got to stop your thawm. You don't have to stop it. But that means you have to do it after Isha. Okay? All the thawm items, keep them after Isha. If you're going to the masjid, that is. Right? And the thing is, with these sort of things, there's not much you can do about it. There's not much you can do about it because it's not a matter of brushing your teeth and you're done. It's like stink bombs in the stomach every few minutes. Right? That's why I was eating, and one of the brothers is like, if you want to kill somebody, then we have a sandwich with thawm inside of it. And if you don't, then we've got a burger without it. I said, I'll go with the one without. Yeah? So the idea is that, and by the way, this doesn't mean that it is haram to have thawm. There's also that extreme. I remember one day I was at someone's house. Nice guy, very nice guy. Staying at the brother's house. Wallahi, he made me feel like I'm committing a sin, man. I just wanted the thawm. And I'm a guest at his house. I said, no, this is the world famous thawm of Al-Baik. Just let me have it. And the brother is like, no, we're going for salah after this. I said, we'll pray in the house, man. So if you have your thawm, you don't have to go to the masjid. That's the point. He was saying, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and that also does not mean every time you're packing thawm now. We're close to Salat, just get your chips out and fries out and put a little bit of thawm in and you're done. You don't have to go for Salat. No. If you ever have it and it's cooked and so on and so forth, go for it and eat it. And at that moment, abstain from going to the masjid. Right? But if you can, then delay till after Isha. Right? So you can have it and not go to the masjid. Now, this is for the Arab, Lebanese and other communities. For the subcontinent, you've got your onions with yourself. And the onions do the same job. Okay? The onions do the same job. And for the Caucasians, you're just going to be following our cuisines anyway. So, unless you're having potatoes and there's no problems with that. So, the onions do the same thing. So, the onions, you have to, you have to be considerate of as well. If you have the onions, then don't go to the masjid. And if you have the onions, then if you can delay till later on. But here is the secret. I know many of you are like, subhanAllah, this is going to be really difficult, right? Here is the secret. If you cook it, there's no problem. Okay? And Umar ibn Khattab said, فَأَمِيتُوهُ طَبْخًا. Then kill the smell by cooking it. So if you cook it, then the scent is gone and it doesn't do that obnoxious thing that I did, right? So then don't worry about it. If you cooked it and it's been cooked and the scent has, basically gone because of the cooking and so on and so forth, then no problem. But we're talking about fresh onions or fresh thawm and so on and so forth. طيب? So don't come to the masjid with a bad breath. And this also goes, as I said, for smoking as well. If you're smoking, then come to the masjid but stop smoking. It's a simple process. But if you're hurting yourself, man, seriously. I love you, man. You're hurting yourself. If you are smoking, stop it. You're hurting yourself. And I know a lot of people, inshallah, nobody in this room is smoking anyways, but if you are, then the masjid is not the place for you at that moment when you've done it. Why? Because your breath is going to be affecting everybody around. And also, even if you take a breath mint in, and also the scent that's all around now, the package deal, right? That will also be affecting people that are coming to concentrate within the masjid. So, whether it's body odor or it's temporary odor because of smoking or it happens to be something else like drugs, do not come to the masjid with those odors. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq to practice, to convey. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Also, remember that your mouth is the passageway for the Qur'an. Okay? Keep your mouth clean for that reason. That's why Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he used to say that إِنَّمَا أَفْوَاهُكُمْ طُرُقٌ لِلْقُرْآنِ. That your mouths are simply the passageway of the Qur'an. And you're in salah, you're going to be reading a lot of Qur'an, right? So if you're going to be reading a lot of Qur'an, then consider the fact that the mouth is the passageway for this Qur'an. And hence, you want to ensure that the breath is clean, right? Smells nice, and also that the mouth is nice and clean.
إِنَّا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرَ